Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to talk about something that pretty much runs our daily lives, whether we realize it or not: contracts. Yep, all that fine print. Our goal today is pretty simple: to turn that feeling of anxiety into a feeling of genuine confidence. Come on, let's be honest. You've done this. We all have. You see that massive wall of text, the terms and conditions, and you just think, I don't have time for this, and click, you're in. But what did you actually just agree to? Well, that's exactly what this is all about. It's time to flip that script. We're going to help you shift from confusion to confidence, so the next time a legal document gets put in front of you, you feel like you're in the driver's seat. Okay, so let's get right into it. What actually makes an agreement a proper, legally binding contract? What's the secret sauce that turns a conversation into a deal the law has to respect? You might be surprised how straightforward it is. At its absolute heart, a contract is just a promise that the law can enforce. It's a deal, right? Between at least two people where you each agree to exchange something that has value. Think of it like a formal, protected, two-way street. I promise to give you this, and you promise to give me that in return. So, for that promise to hold up in court, you need these 5 essential ingredients. It's like a recipe. First, you need a clear offer and a clear acceptance. Someone says, I'll do this, and the other person says, I agree. Second, the whole point of the deal has to be legal, of course. Third, both sides have to give and get something of value. That's called consideration. Fourth, everyone signing has to be legally competent, so over 18 and mentally sound. And last but definitely not least, no one can be tricked or strong-armed into signing. It has to be 100% voluntary. All right, so that's the theory. Now let's see where this stuff actually shows up. I promise you, you're dealing with more contracts every single day than you probably imagine. So here are 3 of the big ones. First up, an installment sale. This is when you buy a TV or a couch, you get to take it home immediately, but, and this is key, you don't actually own it until you've made that very last payment. Then you've got a loan, which is pretty simple. You get a pile of cash and you agree to pay it all back over time, plus interest. And finally, a lease or a rental. With this, you're just paying for access. You get to use the car or live in the flat, but it will never be yours. Knowing the difference is huge. And of course, there's the biggest contract journey of all for most people: a mortgage, or what we call a Verbandlingen. Think about it. On day 1, you sign the papers and you get the keys. You're in. You have possession. But for the next 20 or even 30 years, the bank actually holds the ownership. Every single monthly payment you make is one step closer to the finish line. And only on the day you make that final payment does ownership officially transfer. It's a true marathon. Okay, let's go back to that couch for a second. You see it, you love it, you sign the installment agreement, and it gets delivered to your living room that afternoon. It feels like it's yours. But here is the critical part you have to remember. Even though that couch is in your house, you don't legally own it yet. If you miss your payments, the store could have the right to come and take it back. True ownership only happens the moment that debt is cleared. This brings us to what I think is the most powerful part of all of this. We're going to talk about the laws that are designed specifically to protect you. Think of them as your personal shield out there in the marketplace. In South Africa, you've got 2 main superheroes on your side: the National Credit Act, or the NCA, and the Consumer Protection Act, the CPA. These 2 laws are packed with rights and protections to shield you from unfair or shady business practices. And one of your most powerful rights can be boiled down to just a single number: 5. That 5 stands for the 5 business day cooling off period. It is your legal right to cancel certain deals. No penalty, no questions asked. So when does it apply? It's specific. It's for when you buy something because of direct marketing, like if a telemarketer calls you. It also applies if you sign a lease or an installment sale somewhere that isn't the seller's usual place of business. It's a safety net for when you might have felt pressured. All right, let's talk about exemption clauses. That's the fancy name for the fine print that says, hey, we're not responsible for this or that. Now, some of them are totally fine and legal. But what's illegal and totally unenforceable is any clause that tries to make you give up your basic consumer rights, or says the supplier is not liable for their own failures, or lets them change the deal whenever they feel like it. The law says no way. Okay, so you know the rules and you know your rights. Now it's time to go on the offensive. Let's talk about how to spot the common traps, scams, and red flags out there. A perfect example is knowing the difference between a stokvel and a pyramid scheme. A stokvel is a legal, powerful community savings club. Everybody chips into a pot, and everyone benefits based on the rules you all agree on. It's built on trust.
A pyramid scheme, on the other hand, is an illegal house of cards. There's no real product being sold. The only way early members get paid is from the money brought in by new recruits. It's doomed to collapse, and when it does, everyone at the bottom loses every single cent.
Okay, let's do a quick fire round of red flags. First up, the work-from-home scam. If a job opportunity ever asks you to pay money up front for a starter kit or for training, it's a scam. A real job pays you, you don't pay it. Here's another classic red flag. You get that amazing SMS or email. Congratulations, you've won a fortune, and all you need to do is send them your bank details to claim it. Don't. They won't be depositing anything, they'll be withdrawing.
And finally, the phishing scam. That email looks so real, right? It looks just like it's from your bank, telling you there's a problem and you need to click a link to update your account. It's a trick. They're just trying to steal your password and your identity.
Look, it really all comes down to one simple, timeless truth that your grandparents probably told you. If a deal sounds way too good to be true, it is. Every single time. Trust that little voice in your gut. It's usually right. So remember this, knowledge is your best tool. You now know the basic ingredients of a contract, you know you have a shield of consumer rights, and you know what red flags to watch for. So I'll just leave you with this question. Now that you know the rules of the game, which contract in your life are you going to look at with fresh eyes?